Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel, and welcome to my first College Football 25 rebuild. Now, this isn't going to be any challenge rebuild just yet. I've got those coming up in the future very, very soon, but I just wanted to get a normal rebuild under my belt just so I can kind of get the feel for it first, because I've never done a rebuild like this in college football. I've done plenty of Madden rebuilds, and we've had very good success in those, but I've never done a college football rebuild like this. I didn't do any on NCAA 14 to this extent. We're going to do the Madden style rebuild where we take one team, one video, and we rebuild them until we win a national title. That's what this video is going to be. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how easy or how difficult it is. I just kind of want to get a gauge for everything that is going to happen in this, and I kind of just want to get a baseline for the mode and for how the video structure is going to work. So that's what this one is. It's basically, it is my first rebuild on the game, but it's also kind of like a test rebuild just to kind of see what we're working with here. So because it is a test rebuild, we are going to use a team that's not necessarily in desperate need of a rebuild, but kind of just like middle of the road. I didn't want to go something like a one-star program because it's my first rebuild. I want to get my feet wet in the mode. I want to learn my way around Dynasty, learn how recruiting works, all that kind of stuff before we get into like the actually difficult teams that need to be rebuilt. So we're going to be rocking with Kansas. Now, if this was like, I don't know, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, Kansas would have been one of those one-star programs that's in desperate need of a rebuild. They've had no success. They haven't had a season where they won more than 3 games in over a decade until I think it was 2021 or 2022. One of those, they won like 6 games or something like that. And then obviously last year they had a really, really good year. So they've been on the come up, but for the past like decade, Kansas football has been just absolutely more than irrelevant. Like some people forget that Kansas even has a football team. Or at least people did back when they were early in the past decade or something, when they were really god-awful, winning no more than 3 games. So they are on the come up a little bit. They're a 3-star program in College Football 25, and I'm going to be taking them on as my first rebuild team because they're not like super, super good where we won't really even have to do anything, like the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Georgias, those type of teams where you just simulate and they're going to win a championship probably without you even doing anything. And we're not going to be doing any of the teams that are like 1-star where you actually have to like really, really get in the weeds and get them rebuilt. Just a middle-of-the-road program that is on the come-up and still needs a little bit of a helping hand, a helping push up to the national spotlight. And that's what Kansas is going to be for us. So my first rebuild on College Football 25. I'm super excited about it. I hope you guys are too. If you enjoy this and you want to see more College Football 25 rebuilds plus any more college football content, well, you've come to the right place. Hit that subscribe button. Join the Juice Club so you don't miss out on any college football content on the channel. And let's rebuild the Kansas Jayhawks. Okay, we are here in the main screen, the preseason, and we're ready to go for rebuilding this team. Let's start with setting up the board. Actually, you know what? No, we got to take a look at the team first. I always forget that. We got to take a look at the team first, get a feel for who we have on the roster, and then we can start building the recruiting board. So we've got Devin Neal, who I do know. Devin Neal's a very good player, and Jalen Daniels. A lot of people used to get him and Jaden Daniels confused before Jaden Daniels ended up becoming like the Heisman winner, obviously. But Jalen Daniels still a very good quarterback. Over 91 overall, well, playing up to a 90. He's a 90 actually overall, but he's a 91. Decent speed for a quarterback, good agilities. Okay, I like that, but he's a senior, so we got to keep that in mind. We're definitely going to have to go for a senior or go for a freshman unless we have somebody down here. Like, we have Isaiah Marshall, who's a freshman, who's got really good speed, really good acceleration, really good agility. Maybe we just let Isaiah Marshall be the guy. We don't need to recruit a quarterback. That's a possibility. His accuracies are pretty okay. His deep accuracy is kind of garbage, but his other accuracies are decent. Who's this guy? This is Clint Fontana, who also has he's got better stats and a better deep accuracy, so maybe Clint Fontana's the better guy. Now, he's not athletic really at all. He's got decent speed, okay speed, but Isaiah Marshall, I feel like Isaiah Marshall's probably going to be the better one. I think we might just go with him. We're not going to go with Ben Easters because he's a junior redshirt. Why would we put the team on his shoulders? So after the first season, Jalen Daniels will be the quarterback, and then after the first season, it'll probably be Isaiah Marshall's, unless we find some sort of like studly recruit in the recruiting that takes his place. We've got Devin Neal, but unfortunately he's a senior as well. We don't have a running back that has like superstar speed or anything like that, but they've all got decent speed. They're all okay players. We've only got one freshman on scholarship, Harry Stewart III, who's got 93 speed, 95 excel. He could turn into something, I would think. I wouldn't think he'd be that bad. Maybe Harry Stewart could be that guy. That's possible. At wide receiver, we've got a lot of upperclassmen. Everybody here is going to be gone except for Kubeka. Keaton Kubek is the only guy coming back next year. That's crazy. That's really crazy. Okay, so we are going to have to go heavy on wide receiver in recruiting because we got nobody except for one wide receiver coming back next season. So we are going to have to go crazy. That's good to know, though. That's good to know. So wide receiver is pretty much priority number one, at least at this point. We've got a lot of upperclassmen tight ends, but then a couple of freshmen. This Kansas team seems to be very experienced, very old. A lot of upperclassmen, a lot of junior red shirts, a lot of senior red shirts, a lot of guys like that. We've got a great left guard, but he's going to be gone after the first season. But then Daryl Simmons is also going to be gone. So this team's going to take a big hit in season number 2. That is for sure. A lot of our good players are guys that are going to be gone after this first year, that's how college football works sometimes. Offensive line is going to need to be recruited heavily. We've got a senior defensive lineman and then nobody else that really is going to make that much of a difference. We're going to have to go hard into recruiting here. We are going to have to go hard into recruiting. A lot of our players are going to be gone after the first season. We're going to have a mass exodus of players. Now, some of these guys will probably stay around for their senior season or for their 6th year of eligibility for some of these redshirt guys. But some of them probably won't. You never know. But most of them will, I would think. Is there any, do we have any freshmen that could, stand out besides that quarterback? I think that everybody else here is pretty much either a senior or a junior redshirt and are going to be gone. We have a lot of corners. We have a couple of freshman corners with a decent amount of speed. All their man coverage and zone coverage is not great. So we got to go basically every single position we got to recruit. Basically every single position we've got to recruit because there is nobody, absolutely nobody on scholarship for the next couple of years that is going to really do anything except for that quarterback possibly. So let's go to the recruiting board and let's set it up here. So the prospect list, we've got 2 3-stars that are interested in us. I'm going to put them both on the board. Nico Lucky and Devontae Tolzien are both interested in us. We can sort by the targeted. Oh, we got a 5-star quarterback, Joshua Pena, that wants to come here. Okay, I'm just gonna put all the guys here on our board so that we can get ready to go. So that's everybody there. Then we'll go to the interest side and we'll sort by that, and we'll see if there's anybody. Okay, so there's nobody else in the interest side that's open for us. What about pipeline states? Do we have any pipelines? I picked my coach to be Mr. Juice from Ohio, so our pipeline state is Ohio. We've got a couple of guys that are silver pipeline states, which means they're 2. We're not in the top, though. I should go to wide receiver here. No, that's the wrong thing. I should go to wide receiver here and look for... So we've got 3 wide receiver... These are tight ends. Oops. We've got 1 wide receiver that's on the board, and then 1 down here, Tolzien, that's on the board. So we got 2 wide receivers on our board so far. No other wide receiver in the recommended section is interested in us. What about any state at wide receiver? We've only got 1. What about my pipeline state? So we've got this guy, Keenan Ramsey. We'll put him on the board. We've got 13 guys on the list. There's no 5-star receivers this year. That's kind of crazy. Okay, so let's find some other guys here. A lot of 4-star wide receivers, though. The 64th ranked receiver in the country is Marcus Haslam. I'll put him on the board just in case. Let's go to some running backs. Let's put a couple running backs on this board. The number 2 running back in the country Akil Figures. Is it Figures? Yeah, I would assume it's Figures. I don't know. It's spelled differently. And then I'll put a guy that's a little bit more achievable on here, probably like a 3-star guy. So maybe like Rashard Lieber. We'll put him on there. We've already got a couple wide receivers. We got to scout some offensive linemen, so we got to put some of these guys on here. There's no offensive line. Okay, there's one offensive lineman that's interested in us a little bit. But other than that, we will put maybe Isaiah Queen. We'll put him on there. Offensive guards. No offensive guards in the entirety of the recommended pool is interested in Kansas. Okay. That's good to know. That is good to know. Do we have any pipeline states that are higher than a 2? Not really. We'll go with this guy right here, Kawhi Duarte, and probably this guy as well, and then this guy as well. Just put a couple of guys on there. Why not? Just put a couple of guys on there. Let's see. Interested in our interior centers? No, not really. Do we have any targeted guys? No, we don't. Okay, good to know. Good to know. We've got one guy from Ohio, Cincinnati, Isaiah Yerbig, so we'll put him on there. And then we will put a couple 3-star. That's an athlete. You know what? Let's put an athlete on there. He could be something good. So we're up to 23 guys on the list now. We've got to go and put some defensive guys on here. Defensive ends. We'll put the number 3 defensive, or the number 3 player in the class is Daryl Ficken. We're probably not going to be getting into him. He's got his deal breaker is proximity to home, and we are in Kansas, not in Georgia. So the guys from Georgia are probably going to be the edge on him. Oh, is there anybody here that we could put on our board? There's a couple guys that we could probably try to go after, maybe. Let's go after Canada, and then we'll go after maybe Charles Woodhead, and we'll put those guys on there. D tackles. There's a couple of D tackles we might have a little bit of a shot at, possibly. Maybe like DJ Cushing. And we'll put Sharif Molinaro on there. Outside linebackers, we're at 27 out of 35, so we still got a little bit of room. Little bit of room. We'll put Denario Wall, and we'll put Mitchell McKillop. And I'll put Marcus Speed on there because Marcus Speed is going to be fast. If his last name is Speed, he's going to be fast. So we'll put him on there. 5 more spots available. We will put... How about we put Russell Whitaker on there? And maybe we put Dalvin Smythe. Dalvin Smythe goes on there. We've got a corner that we already have on the board. I'll put another 5-star prospect on here, like Emmanuel Good. He's going to be good. Free safeties. Do we have any deal breakers that work for us? James Turpin we'll put on there as well. And then strong safety, the final spot on our recruiting board for this initial run here. We'll put Isaac Richard on our board. Okay, so we've got our board figured out, at least for right now, the initial board, and we need to start looking at quarterbacks, and we need to start looking at wide receivers. So Joshua Pena is a 5-star prospect, number 5 in the country, and he kind of wants to come here. So let's get recruiting him. We have 875 points to recruit with because we are a decent-sized program. So we're going to immediately offer him a scholarship, and then we are going to start to recruit this man pretty heavily. So, boom. Okay, 92 throw power, 88 short accuracy, medium, 82 speed. He looks like he's going to be a solid player. I'm happy with that. Pat Mangum, or Mangum. I had it right the first time. Ooh, Pat's a gem. Okay. Pat is a gem. We'll offer him a scholarship as well. And Tim Wong, his deal breaker is playing time. And because we've added these other quarterbacks on this board, he has kind of locked us out a little bit. But that's okay because he is only an athlete, and these other 2 guys are actual quarterbacks. And I'm going to try to focus pretty heavily on these 2 guys. So we're good with that. Running backs, Akil Figures. We'll go and look at him a little bit. We'll scout up him. He looks to be very good. He is a 5-star. You would expect him to be very good. And then Rashard Lieber is not as good, but has decent speed. I will offer Figures a scholarship, And we'll go to receivers because this is where we need to focus up. So Marcus Haslam, we'll scout him. He looks to be okay. He looks like he's a good player. What about Devontae Tolzien? Is he fast? He's got 92 speed. Decent. Nico Lucky. Oh, bust on Nico Lucky. Ooh, interesting. And then a 2-star for Keenan Ramsey. He looks serviceable. He doesn't look amazing. I'll offer a scholarship to Marcus Haslam. And I'll offer a scholarship to Devontae Tolzien. So we'll get those 2 guys. Tight ends. We've got a couple 3-stars, a couple 4-stars. The #1 tight end in the country, Isaac Shell. We'll scout him, and he's a bust. Interesting. #1 tight end in the country is a bust. It's kind of wild, actually. That's a blocking tight end. Vi Session, we'll scout him a little bit, and he's also a bust. Tight end position, at least the guys that I picked, are not doing too good. Isaiah Queen, is he solid? He's a... Oh, my God, I am striking out. I am striking out on positions here. The guys that I picked seem to be busts. Duarte's nothing. And then a bust for Kyle Timms. Man, I'm not doing too well. You can say that much. This is the athlete center. Tracy Jefferson, he's also a bust. My God. Okay. And Yerbik is a bust. Okay. Yeah, cool. Let's just get rid of some of these busts. We're not going to go after them if they're busts, even though they are decently star rated. The star rating doesn't really matter at the end of the day. What about Jacques Canada? He's a gem. There we go. Finally, the good side of things. So we'll offer him a scholarship. He looks to be pretty good. And then you got Charles Woodhead as well. And Charles Wood back-to-back on the gem side of things. That's good. So that's getting us back in the good graces. DJ Cushing is a solid player. Sharif Molinaro. Okay, decent. Outside linebackers. Let's go for Marcus Speed. Is he going to actually be fast? It doesn't show me his speed. That's okay. What about middle linebacker? We've got Russell Whitaker. And he's a gem. Let's go. Okay. So we'll offer him a scholarship, and we'll move across to Emmanuel Good, the 5-star. Immediately offer him a scholarship. And let's see. He's got 92 speed. He looks to be pretty good. He's a 5-star. I would expect that to be pretty good. And then Force Payne. We'll scout him up as well. And he's a gem. Let's go, baby. Now we're starting to get... So the offensive line we struggled with. But the rest of these guys, we are starting to find some good gems here. And another gem for James Turpin at free safety. All right, and then strong safety, we got Isaac Richard, I guess is what his name would be, and he's also a gem. I'm hitting the jackpot on some of these guys. Okay, so we got 2 athletes on our board. We've got Tim Long and we've got Figures. We've already scouted and offered a scholarship to Akil Figures. We're gonna take Tim Long off the board, and there we go. Okay, perfect. We found a couple gems. But we also found a couple of busts, like Nico Lucky, who will take off the board. We'll take some of those other busts off the board just so we can free up some space for some other guys that could also possibly be busts. Prospect list, we should probably go for... There's Nico Lucky. He's a bust. We talked about that. We should probably go for the top prospects. No, we're not going to be able to get those guys. What about just... Let's look at some 4-star guys. Is there any 4-star guys that are interested in us? We've already got these guys on our board. Those 4 stars. Then we got Magnum. We've got this guy... Joe Estes, we'll add him to the board. He's a D tackle. What about Garrison Akbar? He's an athlete. We've got Miguel Estrella. And then Justice Hurley, Steve McQuaid, and I'll add in this guy right here, Deacon Avant. So that's 35, and we'll add Sam Cobbs as well. Okay, 35 prospects now on the board, newly added guys. And we will get Garrison Akbar scouted up so we know a little bit more about him. And he ends up being a bust as well. Okay, I'm not hitting the busts very well, or I'm not hitting the gems. He doesn't look bad. I'm going to keep him on my board because he also doesn't look bad. He's an athlete. You got to keep that in mind. They're probably thinking he's going to play a different position because he's got a ball carry vision at 79. Maybe they think he's a bust at running back. But at quarterback, he doesn't look too bad. But I am going to be all in on this guy, Joshua Pena, and probably on Pat Magnum as well. We'll think about those 2 guys. And we have 5 points left to go, so I'll just offer a scholarship to somebody. Let's offer a scholarship to Lieber, I guess. We'll offer him a scholarship. Perfect. Okay, so that is our first set of recruiting done and dusted. The first little bit of recruiting. I'm not going to customize the schedule or anything like that. We can go into our skills. I did pick recruiter as my my archetype or whatever, and we're going to fully scout wide receivers and tight ends. Takes less time to scout them because wide receiver and tight end is a little bit more important than quarterback, because if we end up not getting any of those quarterbacks, we still have that guy, what was his name, Isaiah Marshall, is that what his name was? We still have whoever it was who could fill in and play. So we got a little bit more recruiting now. 35 out of 35 on the board, 700 more hours to use. We've jumped to number 5 on Joshua Pena's board, but Texas is starting to take a little bit. A lot of those guys have offered scholarships, and Mangum were also number 5, but we have moved up on his board. Akbar, we're not in the top just yet. What about wide receivers? We haven't jumped into anybody's board here except for Devontae Tolzien. We are top of Devontae's board. We've also offered him a scholarship. The only one to offer him a scholarship. Okay. I scouted Keenan Ramsey already. He didn't look too great. Did we get Estrella? We did not get a Miguel Estrella just yet. He looks to be 97 speed. Okay. Offer a scholarship to Miguel Estrella. We got to go hard for him, that's for sure. We got to go hard for him. I might even try to add an action. Let's contact friends and family on Marcella or Miguel Estrella. And then we will also do a little bit of we could DM Devontae Tolzien, talk to him a little bit. Let's go back up to the quarterbacks here. Let's add an action. Let's go contact friends and family for Joshua Pena, and then Magnum, we will DM him and talk to him. We'll slide into his DMs. Okay, so we're adding a few more stuff there. Tight ends. This guy's locked us out. Vi Session. Okay, that's not good. That is not good. Why'd he lock us out? I don't know. He doesn't look that great. He doesn't look that great. We'll take him off the board, and he's a bust anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Scout Sergio Leak. We'll scout him. He could be solid. Carl Cohn. Looks like he's a bad blocking tight end. The tight ends don't look that great. The ones that I have on the board, at least, don't look that great. What about Sam Cobbs? We haven't scouted him. He actually looks pretty solid. Let's offer him a scholarship and add an action to his, and we'll contact his friends and family. See if we can jump into his radar, jump on his radar here. Quincy Kelly. We haven't really looked at him yet, have we? How's he looking here? He actually looks okay. He doesn't look great at anything. We will add a thing. We'll search his social media. Just get on his radar slightly. Leon Byers I haven't looked at yet, and he is a bust. Okay, good to know. Defensive end, here's Jaquez Canaday. Let's get him going here. Let's contact his friends. We'll go to Charles Woodhead. We'll also DM him. And then Steve McQuaid we haven't looked at yet because we just added him to the board. And he looks just as good as the other guys. So we'll offer him a scholarship, and we will get on his radar by DMing him. D tackles, we just added Estes, I think, right? Jose Estes. And he looks pretty good too. He looks pretty good as well. Add an action. We will DM him. Sharif Molinaro, Cushing. I don't know if I want to go in on those guys just yet. What about these guys? Deacon Avant. How good is he? 82 speed. That's not too bad. Deacon Avant's a solid guy. We'll add a scholarship to him. Marcus Speed. I will search his social media, see if he's talking about January 6th. Russell Whitaker. We will add an action to this man. We'll DM him. And then Dalvin Smythe, I will scout actually first before we go too crazy on him. And he's a gem. Dalvin Smythe, yes. He actually looks really good too. So we will go contact friends and family and offering him a scholarship. Go all in on Dalvin Smythe. Corners, Emmanuel Good we want to get a little bit crazy with. So let's contact his friends and family. And then Forrest Payne, we will add an action to him. We'll DM him. All right, I'm feeling pretty confident about some of these guys. Turpin will contact his friends and family. We've got 165 points remaining, and we'll DM Isaac Richard. What about the athletes? Oh, figures. I gotta focus on him. Let's contact friends and family there. And Akbar, I'll offer Akbar a scholarship because he doesn't look bad. Like these stats, initial stats, don't look that bad at all. He's got 91 speed, 91 throw power. He looks like a solid player. We'll DM him for right now. That's 115 points remaining. 115 points remaining. What can we go in on? We should probably maybe focus on... Let's take Isaac Shell off the board here. Joe McManus, I'll scout. I didn't think... I thought I already scouted him. We'll scout him. He looks okay. Nothing too crazy. Cone, we will search his social medias. Pat Magnum we're already looking pretty good on. And then let's scout some... Let's just use some of these other points to scout some of the guys I haven't scouted yet. A gem for Sherrard Gatto. Okay. So we'll offer him a scholarship, and we will go and hit him up in the DMs. Keenan Ramsey, Marcus Haslam, we've already gone a little bit in on. Isaiah Queen, we looked at. He's a bust. Then you got Leon Byers is a bust as well. We could go in a little bit more on Cushing, maybe. He doesn't look that good, though. I haven't scouted Denario Wall yet, though. Is Denario Wall worth it? He's not bad. He is not bad at all. So what we'll do is we'll offer him a scholarship, and that's all of our points for right now. I'm feeling pretty good about the class right now. We will hopefully jump into the boards of a couple of guys. Jump into the top 5 and top 3, hopefully. So here we go. So Pena, we've got locked out. Oh, no, we got locked out of Akil Figures and Lieber and Kelly. And okay, none of the... Oh, no. We got locked out of... Or we got... locked out of Isaac Richard, Garrison Akbar, Steve McQueen. Oh, some of these guys I actually liked. That's kind of annoying. But we've reached, we made the top 8 for Gatto, for Mangum, and for the 5-star quarterback Joshua Pena. That's good to know. But some of those guys I actually wanted to go in on. And that looks like the Riverside Royals we're going up against. That's pretty cool. Okay, so recruiting. Unfortunately, we did get locked out. That sucks. Is there anybody? Can I see the lockout things? Okay, so here's Mitchell McKilclob, whatever his name is. Garrison Akbar is hoping we could get in on him. He locked us out. Avant is out, and Cobbs is out. That's okay. That is okay. But we are crucially in on Gatto, and I kind of want to keep going in on him. So let's like contact his friends and family. Denario Wall, we will contact his friends and family, and Estes will do the same thing for him. We're not going to send the house just yet, but we'll get a little bit closer. We'll get a little bit closer. Okay, quarterbacks. Pena, we are getting closer. Pena's the type of guy we send the house on. Pena's the type of guy we send the house on. We'll contact the friends and family for Pat Mangum. Running back, both the running backs locked us out. So we'll remove both of those guys from the board. Wide receivers. We're still in the running for these guys, which is good. Especially Devontae Tolzien. So what we'll do is we'll contact his friends and family. I'll take Keenan Ramsey off the board. I don't really want to go in on him. Miguel Estrella, we will DM him. And then Marcus Haslam, we will DM him as well. We already looked at Gatto. Quincy Kelly locked us out. Is there anybody else here? Oh, that's right. Steve McQuaid locked us out, even though I kind of wanted him. What about Jacques Canaday? We will... Ooh. Maximum Influence. Let's go Maximum Influence, and we'll send the house on Big Dog here. Why can't I do it? What's going on? Add action. DM player. It wouldn't let me send the house on him. I don't know what it was. What was going on there? Contact friends and family. Okay, there we go. Any of these D tackles we are a little bit in on. Estes, that's right. I want to keep Estes locked up a little bit longer. Marcus Speed locked us out, but Denario Wall we're still in on. So we'll add a few more points to him. Russell Whitaker locked us out, but Dalvin Smythe has not yet, so we will DM him. Corners, we're still good on these guys, which is nice. For some reason, I can't send the house on some. Maybe you have maybe you can't send the house if you're not like closer to the top 8. I don't know. But some of these guys won't let me send the house on them. Free safety, James Turpin, we're still in on. So we're looking good there. And then Isaac Richard locked us out. Okay. So we are still in good position for a decent class. We have gotten locked out of a few guys. Is there anybody that's like late game interested in us? Both these guys are busts. I don't know if I should go in on them or not. Everybody else just really isn't interested. And it might be too late to now jump into the schools. Or jump in. Maybe we could go for like Bryce Haskins. I'll add him to the board. Some of these guys that were kind of close to the top 8. If you can see above my camera. I'll add a couple of them because we could make our way in and keep battling later in the year. Although this guy's pretty close to committing to Oklahoma State already. Jermaine Scruggs. Just add a few more guys to the board. Give us a little bit more to work with. Okay, so that's all the guys at the top there. What about a little bit lower down? Is there anybody that's interested? Ooh, that guy, that corner. Sam Grace is really... We're close to his top 8, but he's really close to committing to Ohio State. It's definitely going to be pretty tricky to get into some of these guys' top 8 and top 5 and stuff like that, since we're later into the cycle now. We're a couple of weeks in now. We'll put that guy on. We will put that guy on. And then we'll put Titus Flavors on just because I like his name. Alright, so we add some new people to the board, which we can spend our last remaining scouting points on these guys. Oops, that's the wrong thing. Alright, so let's scout Bryce Haskins, outside linebacker. He's a JUCO sophomore. Maybe he's got a little bit of run left in him. Gabe Durbin. I don't even want to pronounce this guy's name. Alfonso Dunham. Or Dunham. Oh, he's a bust, though. Okay, good to know. Why are all the offensive linemen getting bust for me? I can't find any good offensive linemen. It looks like Jermaine Scruggs actually a pretty solid player. I'll offer him a scholarship, and we will DM him. Try to get on his radar a little bit sooner. Where's some of those guys that we were like really close? Okay, Sam Grace, we're like really close to getting into his top 8. So if we look at him a little bit more, and he's a gem as well at the quarterback position. I like to see that. Offer a scholarship. We got 15 points remaining. We will go with a DM, and we will search his social media. Want to try to get in on Sam Grace. Okay, another week down. Another week down of recruiting. Now, I'm going to simulate a decent portion of the season. I'm going to keep doing recruiting and all that kind of stuff. But I'll bring you guys back in probably towards the halfway point of the year and kind of regroup with how we're doing here. Just so we don't keep this. I don't want this to be a 6-hour video. So we're going to keep it moving, and I'll keep you updated with how recruiting's going and how the season's going as a whole. Okay, I wanted to bring you guys back in quick because Joshua Pena, the 5-star quarterback we were going after, has committed to Texas. He locked us out the week prior. We didn't make his top 3, unfortunately, and he's committed to Texas, so he's going to be sitting behind Arch Manning, presumably. Maybe, since we went so hard on him, we can end up getting him in the transfer portal a little bit later because obviously Arch Manning's going to be starting. He's like an 87 overall, so he's obviously going to be starting right away. We'll keep an eye on Joshua Pena. Maybe he ends up transferring out of Texas after a season, and maybe he could come back to us in the end. But all these guys right now we have in the number 1 position in terms of their interest in us. And we are still battling with Pat Magnum. We've jumped up to his number 2 interest. It's a battle for Pat Mangum. It's not a guarantee that we get him, but it's also not a guarantee that we are upset if we don't get him. Because remember, we have that guy. And look at that. We got Big 12 Offensive Player of the Week with Quentin Skinner, senior wide receiver. Good for him. Good for him. We are 3-1 currently, week number 5. Taking on TCU. I've got some visits coming. And funny enough, Joshua Pena's visit was going to be here against TCU. I don't think he's going to come now because he's committed to Texas. But we're pretty much going to get Devontae Tolzien, which is nice. I have added a couple other quarterbacks to our board in Tavares Cleveland and Ben Cantrell. I don't know if we're going to be able to get these guys. It's pretty late into their recruitment at this point. I'll keep trying, though. We'll offer him a scholarship because he doesn't look too bad. And then we'll scout Cantrell. And Cantrell, pretty solid as well. We'll offer him a scholarship. Why not? Why not? We'll search his social media, and we will DM Tavares Cleveland. And maybe we can somehow sneak our way in. Really, Pat Mangum is the guy that we're going after, but he's looking like he's going to commit to Iowa right now. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. I hope we beat TCU. It's not a guarantee that we do. It is not a guarantee that we do. We got our first commit. Devontae Tolzien, the first commitment of my entire time here in College Football 25 is Devontae Tolzien, 3-star wide receiver. We're battling for Gatto. McManus has locked us out, unfortunately. That's kind of unfortunate. That is kind of unfortunate that he's locked us out there, because I like Joe McManus. And Bryce Haskins has locked us out. But we are number 1 and a couple other guys here. So we're looking pretty decent. The guys are looking good. We need to keep an eye on those quarterbacks, though. And we did. We beat TCU. We beat TCU. That's pretty awesome. Did that in any way affect Joshua Pena? Nah, we're still number 4. We're still everybody's locked out now. Everybody's locked out. He's going to verbally commit to Texas. That's okay. Have we jumped in on these guys? I don't think we have. His deal breaker is coach prestige, but Cantrell doesn't have one of those. I guess we go a little bit hard on these guys. Try to get in on them, because they both look decently good. Maybe we DM when we put in 40 points on those guys. And then anybody else we got? Devontae Tolzien. Oh, I added back Nico Lucky, because we're still in his top half, so I might as well try to recruit him a little bit, I guess. Might as well throw a little bit in on him. Who knows? Maybe he ends up coming here. Maybe he ends up coming here. But now I'm going to go, if we get any more big news like the Joshua Pena thing, I'll bring you guys back in again, but I'm going to keep simulating most of the season now. Okay, so we wrapped up season 1. We've gotten some more commits. We finished the first season 6-6, so you can see that we have a little bit of work to do here in Kansas. And it looks like Dexter Harper has locked us out, but we're still battling for a few other guys. We are up to almost level 9, actually. That's pretty cool. And we do have a few guys that are at risk for transferring because of like brand exposure and championship contenders. I have been putting a bunch of 4-star players on our board, just trying to snag a couple of guys. Jalen Milroe wins the Heisman this year. That's the second time I've seen Jalen Milroe win the Heisman. That's kind of funny. It is early National Signing Day, though. Let's go through and recap who we've scouted or who we've recruited. So, currently, our recruiting class sits at the number... Where's it at? It's going to be the number... Oh, it's really low down here, considering we don't have any 5-stars. It is the number 103 class in the nation. We have 1 4-star committed and 6 3-stars committed. So here are, if we go over to our actual team, can we see who's... Okay, we can't see who's committed to us just yet, but we'll go through it. So we've gotten Tolzien, you knew that. We got Forrest Payne, the 3-star corner. We got Denario Wall, 3-star outside linebacker. Joey Estes, the 4-star defensive tackle. We'll take Dexter Harper off the board. We got Sam Grace, the 3-star corner. Danny Sampson, the 3-star outside linebacker. Nico Lucky ended up committing to Boise State, which probably isn't too bad. We got one of the quarterbacks, which was Ben Cantrell, 3-star guy. Maybe he can come in and battle with the quarterback that we already have on the board. So those are the guys that we've gotten committed so far. I have added, as you can see, all these guys down here. Now, I don't think any of these guys are actually going to commit to us, but it doesn't hurt to have them on the board just in case. Just in case. And we can finish up... Oh, actually, we can't. I was going to say we can finish up scouting people, but I guess we can't do that. Okay, good to know. So, early signing day, what do I even do here? Is there anything that we can do? I don't think there is. Guys that I think are going to commit to the team, I think we lose out on DJ Cushing. We probably get Gabe Durbin. We most likely get Tavares Cleveland, the other quarterback we were after. Tim Wong, I think he's locked us out because of playing time. So Tim Wong's not going to show up. Marco Jewell, I don't think we get. Terzel is going to be a battle, or Tuzili, excuse me, is going to be a battle. Folk, I think we do get. Khan, I don't think we get. Some of these guys we won't get, which is obvious, but I think we'll come away with a pretty solid class. At least I hope so. I guess we can move on to the next part of the off-season, or beginning the off-season, actually. So Sharp has committed to another school, or he's locked us out of the thing. That's okay. Hopefully we don't get too many transfers. I don't really want any transfers. We have 20 skill points to use on our head coach here. So let's just let's get that going here. We have to sign 2 top 5 recruiting classes. That's going to be pretty tricky. Let's work on wide receiver. We'll get that all the way purchased. I'll purchase kicker and punter just to have that purchased right now. We'll get a running back going, and that'll be it. Okay, so wide receivers fully maxed out. Wide receiver tight ends are fully maxed out. And then quarterback is close to being maxed out. We're not going to take any job offers. We're going to stay here at Kansas because that's the whole point. And I'm hoping that next season we can do a little bit better. Another quarterback, Frank Bryant, has committed to another school or has locked us out. We're not in his top 8. That's okay. We've already got 2 quarterbacks that are good enough. Plus, we have the quarterback already, so we're looking pretty good. And there's Tavares Cleveland. Tavares Cleveland has committed to Kansas. Thank you very much. And Vernon Cool, we've jumped to his number 2 school. I'll take that. That's something. We're getting a few recruits. We're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. So if we go to the team and we go to the roster, we've got Jalen Daniels, who's going to be leaving. Then we've got Isaiah Marshall, who's actually jumped into a 73 overall. So if these quarterbacks that come in that we've recruited, if they aren't better than a 71/73 overall, then Isaiah Marshall, I'll give him the starting spot, but we'll have to see what happens. We will have to see what happens there. We'll keep on simulating here. It looked like that said NC State versus Florida State was the national championship game. That's wild. That's actually wild. We weren't able to get any 5-star guys this year. That's okay. We're not at that level of program just yet. I thought we might have been able to get a 5-star corner. There was a 5-star corner that we were in on, but ended up he chose, I think he chose Ole Miss, I'm pretty sure is who he chose. So we've got, a lot of transfers. A lot of transfers. A lot of graduations, as you would expect. A couple guys going in the draft. Jalen Daniels and then Kobe Bryant, both going in the draft. We knew that we were going to lose most of the team to graduation and to the draft, actually. But we have a lot of transfers. That's not too good. Let's try to get some of these guys back. Ooh. So we're going to lose the running back. That's unfortunate. It said high on him and we lost him too? Ooh. None of these guys are choosing to... It's all failing. We got one guy. Dwayne Mills. This is kind of crazy, actually. We only got one guy to stay. Okay. Not what I expected. We lose a lot of people to the transfer portal. That's going to be tough. But also, we can bring guys in with the transfer portal. It goes both ways. So, it does go both ways. And we get Eric Folk, the safety, to commit 3-star guy. That's another 3-star to add to the board. We've got, here we go, transfer portal and off-season recruiting. So the transfer portal is now officially open. Who's in the transfer portal? Any big names? There's a couple interesting players in here. Who's super interested in coming here? A couple of guys. I'll put all these guys on there that are interested in it. I wonder if this is Olin Kreutz's kid. He looks similar to him. It could be. I'm going to take these guys off that haven't, or that committed to other schools. There's the 5-star corner I was talking about. Let's just take these guys off the board since they're not coming here. Okay, perfect. Now we have a little bit more room for transfer portal people. We might be able to jump into some of these guys. It's possible. And then, is there any more prospects that we could grab? Oh, there's that Wong guy, but he's got deal breakers, so it's not like we can get him. We'll go for another running back. And we'll go for an outside linebacker, I guess. Okay, we got 900 hours to work on these guys. Let's start with the transfers, see what we can do with them. Okay, that Kraves guy looks really good. It's got to be his kid, right? Or at least his nephew or something like that. Something related to him. All these guys look very good, obviously, because they're transfers. .90 speed for Jeremiah Moses is interesting, especially at corner. Ooh, Pendergrass. Ooh, Dawson Pendergrass looks actually really intriguing. I might just go and send the house right at him. I don't know if I can. I don't understand the send the house thing. Never usually lets me do it for some reason. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I definitely want to recruit Jeremiah Moses, that's for sure. He looks pretty darn good. Anybody else? I mean, I'll offer scholarships to everybody, just in case they happen to choose to come to us. We'll keep looking at some of these guys. Evan Liggins. Oh, he's a bust. Okay. Good to know. I definitely want to go all in on this Josh Kurtz guy. Even if he's not related to Olin, he still looks very good. So I want to go all in on him. We'll scout you as well. We've got, 400 points that we can use. This guy looked good. Can we schedule a visit? Does it matter? I guess we'll give him playing time. Maybe that'll help. I don't know if I don't even know if the visits matter in the off season. They might. They might matter. Who knows? I really want to get Dawson Pendergrass. He looks really good. He could be a nice running back for us. Who else do we want to go after? Maybe you? We still got a lot of hours to work with here. I think I can take off Cushing because, oops, I didn't mean to back out there. I think I can take off Cushing because I just don't think we're going to be getting him. I mean, we're in a battle for him. We're the only one that's offered him a scholarship, but is he really even worth it? He doesn't really look like that good. I don't know. We'll see what happens with him. How are we looking on the kicker? He looks like he's going to commit to SMU. Ooh, Najee Singleton's a gem. Let's go. That's huge. A late game gem. We definitely want to get wide receivers because wide receiver we lost a lot, as you saw in the players leaving screen. We had so many senior wide receivers, we lost a lot of them. All right, we only have a little bit more hours to do, so we'll just DM Brenton Williams, I guess. And that is all 900 of my hours used. So I guess it's up to the fates of the gods to see if we are able to get a good recruiting class or not. We're first for a lot of these guys. We've moved up to first for Pendergrass. That's exactly what I wanted because Dawson Pendergrass looks like a stud. So that's huge. We've got 410 hours. How are we looking on some of these other guys, though? We're still battling for a couple of them. Najee Singleton looks like we're probably going to get. Ooh, Michigan's going after Croots. Is there any more I can do on him? I might have to schedule him a visit or something. He's got proximity to home as his... Yeah, we'll give him a family visit. We'll soft sell him. Can I do that? I don't have enough points to do that. Can I sway him? I'll try everything I can to get him because I think he's going to be really solid. He's probably going to get a lot of playing time. Jeremiah Moses is. And then Dawson Pendergrass. He just looks really good. I mean, look at these. He's got 91 carrying, 86 agility, 87 speed. He looks like he could start right away at running back. We got 290 hours. I don't really know what else to use them on. I guess just buying a bunch of the influence stuff on guys that I haven't used it on. Maybe we can jump in. Okay, got all that done. Do we even see what happens in the next? Like, I don't know what's going to happen here. How many more points are we going to get? Are we going to get more recruits? I don't know how this works. We have a lot of guys that are number one on their board. A lot of guys. We're still battling for a couple of them. Where's Krayutz at? No, he committed to Michigan. No. Oh, he would have been so good to have. They both committed to Michigan, actually. Man, he would have been so cool to have on the team. He looked really, really good. We've got 10 more points in the thing here. We can buy the motivator. Let's buy the motivator. Might as well. Might as well buy the motivator. Well, these guys are being very stingy on when they commit. Ooh, we got a couple of guys that are interested here. Oh, I'm full up on my board. Oops. I was wondering why I couldn't get those guys. We're full up on the board. We might as well go and offer all these guys scholarships and then scout them and see if they're any good. Jaden Chapman. We're almost to his top 3, actually, on Jaden Chapman. All these guys look very good in the transfer portal. Alright, that's pretty much all the hours I can use. Actually, I got a little bit more. I can't spend it on them. I can spend it on you, though. Okay, that's all the hours I can use for this week. I think we got one more week of off-season stuff. Yeah, we'll go to the final week and see what happens here. I have absolutely no idea. We get Gabe Durbin. He committed. Chapman, Jaden Chapman. Oh, I was just looking at him. He has locked us out. It's okay. We have moved up to 89th for some reason. I don't know what that means. Some other guys that have committed to other schools. A lot of guys I was kind of intrigued by, but That's okay. We're still going to come away with a pretty solid class. A pretty solid class. But Terzilli's gone. Who else is going to be gone? Goodacre, Reese Tripp, Brenton Williams. All those guys are gone. Tony Tripp is gone. And then Jaden Chapman. I was hoping he might want to come here because he looked pretty decent, but we can maybe put a couple extra guys in the transfer portal on our list now. How about some of these targeted guys? So we got a couple guys that are we're fifth on. And then a couple guys that we're 8th on. And I guess we'll try to get these guys now. Probably not going to be able to, but you never know. You never actually know. They look pretty good. They do. 92 acceleration, 88 speed for these guys. We'll offer them all a scholarship, and then we'll go down the line and spend our points on them. Okay, got that done. So I guess we simulate another week and we see if those guys commit or not. I have no idea what happens after. Do we just go to the preseason now? What happens now? We got Jeremiah Moses to commit. I think he was one of the transfer portal guys. Dawson Pendergrass commits. He's probably going to start at running back right away. Dennis Samuel, 2-star center. Ashton Williams. Lucas Taylor. So it looks like everybody commits that was waiting to commit. We get another receiver. We get a right guard. Will Larkins. Oh, we just looked at him. We just looked at Will Larkins. That's kind of crazy, actually. Okay, so I think that's recruiting for us. Oh, it's National Signing Day. I think we came away with a pretty good class. Cushing's not that big of a deal to lose. I'll clear off everybody that we didn't get, and we'll look at our board. We came away with a pretty deep class, that's for sure. Considering what we walked into with a bunch of seniors, it's probably good that we came away with a deep class. So we end up getting committed 3 quarterbacks. Well, technically 2 quarterbacks and an athlete that's probably going to play quarterback, but we'll see what he's good at. We committed 1 running back, Dawson Pendergrass. We got a bunch of receivers that we absolutely needed because we lost so many receivers with seniors. So we got a bunch of receivers committed. We didn't get any tight ends, no offensive tackles, 1 guard. We got a bunch of centers, but we can move them around, see how good they are. We got 1 DB or D end in Gabe Durbin. We got another defensive tackle in Joey Estes, who's a 4-star. Denario Wall and Danny Sampson, left outside linebackers. Ty Morris, I think, was a transfer. Forrest Payne, Sam Grace, and Jeremiah Moses. All 3 corners come in. 2 high school guys and a transfer. I like the cornerback room now. Ashton Williams comes in at free safety, and Eric Folk comes in at strong safety. That's a pretty deep class of guys. Now, they're not all like amazing players. They're not all like top recruits, but it still should be a pretty solid class. And we were in the 100. I think we were like 103rd ranked right now. We end up moving up to top 55. We didn't get any 5-stars. We got 1 4-star. That was Joey Estes. And then we got 22 3-stars and 3 2-stars for a total of 174 points. I think that's a pretty solid class. I'm okay with that. We got a couple of transfer guys to come in. Now we got position changes. This is where we change those athletes, I think, right? So if I don't know how we sort by athlete. Oh, here we go. We only got, it's only Najee Singleton is the only athlete. So what is he going to be good at? He's a 71 at tight end. Ooh. He's a 66 at quarterback, even though that's what he was technically recruited to be. I'm going to make him a tight end. I don't know. How big was he again? He's 6'3", 202. Yeah, I'm fine with that. 91 speed at tight end's kind of crazy, actually. And that's the only athlete that we had to change, I think. Yeah, that's the only athlete we had. Do we need to go through and change any of these quarterbacks? Because there's Isaiah Marshall. The 2 freshmen that we brought in are both 68, 67. So it looks like Marshall is going to get the opportunity to start right away. Are any of these other guys good at other positions? Nah, everybody else kind of sucks. What about Fontana? He'd be a 69 overall running back. Oh, that's Isaiah Marshall. I thought I picked Fontana. Now it's Tavares Cleveland. What the heck? Am I not picking the right guy? What's going on here? There's Ben Easters. He's not okay. We're not probably not going to move any of the guys. So Dawson Pendergrass, he's not going to start right away because we have Sevion Morrison. But Pendergrass right here is going to be really, really good. That's a nice 1-2 punch right there. I like that. We add in a couple receivers. Look at how young the receiving core looks now. Our wide receiver room is a little bit weak. I will say that. Even with all the new recruits, they're under 60 overall, which is going to be a little bit tough. So we're still going to be focusing on wide receivers. That is for sure. But the new addition, Devontae Tolzien, hopefully he can develop because he's got decent speed and stuff. So I think he could be pretty good. But receiver is still definitely going to be one of the things on our board. We've got now an intriguing prospect with Najee Singleton, who we just brought in as an athlete in the recruiting class. And we turned him into a tight end. Offensive line still needs a little bit of work. We are still working on the offensive line. The defensive line, we've got the freshman Gabe Durbin, who we brought in. A lot of these guys were lower overall players because obviously they're 3-star, 2-star guys. That's understandable. If we go to D-tackle, Estes ends up being a 74 overall, so he's probably going to start right away once Season 3 begins because all these other guys are going to be gone either to the draft or to just regular graduation. The linebacking core, we did a decent job bringing in a couple new guys, but we still need to work on that. We brought in a lot of corners that I'm excited about. And Moses, look at Jeremiah Moses, ends up being the 3rd highest rated corner on the team. So I'm excited about that. I like that we brought in Jeremiah Moses, but we're still going to have to focus on a lot of different positions. We've gone down actually from an 80 to a 79. So the team still needs a little bit of work. We're still a ways away from winning a national championship. We were ranked at one point, I will say that. I think we were ranked number 19 in the country at one point. We are a 3-star program. I think we dropped down to a 3-star instead of a 3.5-star. We've got training results. Does that mean that any of our guys go up? We get... Who's the highest overall player on our team? It's Bryce Foster, the center. So a lot of the seniors go up a little bit. I don't know when they what they went up from. It doesn't tell me. Marshall does go up from a 71 to a 73, though. I do remember that. So that's nice. All right, so our team is growing slightly. It's still going to take a little bit of time. I don't know how long these college football rebuilds are going to take. Looks like it's going to take a little bit longer. We'll do running. We'll spend some points on running back. We'll spend some points on offensive line because we do need to focus on the offensive line. So we'll spend some points on that. And I do want to say that now we've gotten Season 1 out of the way, how I'm going to do it is I'm going to show you the initial recruiting board of my top 35 guys that I've got on the board. And then I'm going to basically skip to when we have pretty much the entirety of the recruiting class figured out. Because unless we're able to land like some massive 5-star guy or something, then I'll bring you guys back in for that. But for the most part, it's just going to be the same thing repeated over and over again. So as long as you see those initial guys, you pretty much know who I'm going to be going after. So you don't need to see the whole process. I just wanted to get the full process shown in Season 1 so you can get the feel for how the rebuild is going to go. But encouraging transfers. Telling guys that we want them to transfer. George Goss, we just got them here, so I don't think we should do that. We actually don't have enough players. We have 77 out of 85, so we don't even need to make anybody transfer. I'll keep everybody around. We don't need to do that. I'm not going to change the conferences, and I should be able to go right to the next season, right to Season 2. And it'll be Isaiah Marshall's job. He's going to get the starting job in year number 2. Yep, here we are. We're into the preseason. Okay, so let's go to our roster. Isaiah Marshall will get the job. He's the number 1 quarterback on roster. Maybe we're able to recruit another quarterback this year that's a higher overall. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe since we have a lot more depth now, I brought in a lot of guys. Maybe I should lessen my recruiting board and just go after like some specific like 5-star, 4-star type of guys instead of going after a bunch of 3-stars. Maybe I should go after like a certain amount of like 5-star and 3-stars. Maybe we should go after a 5-star quarterback, go pretty heavy on them. After a 5-star running back and a couple 5-star offensive line, or maybe 5-star wide receivers, something like that. I think I might try to like specify my board a little bit more this year. Now that we brought in so much so many players this year, maybe I switch it up next time or this time. So first, I will put all the guys that are on my board originally, or like targeted on my board. I'll put all those guys on to start. Actually, let's start with the guys that are interested in us. So we'll put all these guys in. Okay, so we've got those guys, and then we'll go by star rating the rest of the way out. There's a quarterback right there, Kenyon Smith, who's a 4-star guy who's interested in us. So right off the bat, that's pretty good. We got another guy. We're already up to 24. 24 on our board. We'll do a couple of 4-stars right there. Okay, so 28. So now what we do is we look at all of the prospects, top prospects. We go to top 5, and we just start loading up some 5-star guys, and maybe they'll choose to come here. We go to 4-star prospects, and we start loading up on 4 stars. And we hope that that works. We hope that that works. So, guys that I'm curious about. Can I go by star rating? No, I can't go by star rating. That's okay. Transfers, high school, team needs, ready for visit schedule. Okay, so let's start with the quarterback. It's Kenyon Smith. He's a 4-star guy. Oops, I didn't mean to go that. Let's get him scouted up and see how good he actually is. He's a bust. Of course he is. He doesn't look that bad, though. He's got 71 speed. I'll offer him a scholarship still, but being a bust kind of hurts his chances of coming to Kansas. All right, I didn't put any 5-stars on here. It's always nice to have an athlete, scout an athlete, because he's a gem. Marco Mateo isn't a gem. What about Javon Fogg? He's a bust. Ty Cruz is a gem. There we go. Now we're starting to get it. Karis Finley is nothing. What about some of these actual 4-star running backs? 92 speed. Marvin Uzama, 86 carrying, 89 speed for him. Okay, looks pretty decent. And then we've got a couple of receivers. I got a 5-star receiver here, 96 speed for him. Bust for Alex Butcher. Why is everybody a bust, man? He doesn't look that bad, though. He does not look that bad. I'll offer a scholarship to Richard Shaughnessy. We'll offer a scholarship to Alec Butcher, even though he is a bust. I'll come back here and offer a scholarship to Mateo. We'll offer a scholarship to Fogg and to Ty Cruz. And then to Finley, Uzama, and Dorsey, just so we can get those guys out of the way. Wide receivers, tight ends, a couple 4-star guys will scout. Ooh, Nick Mendoza is a gem. That's good. Larry Koo is a bust. Man, I can't win, can I? I cannot win. Offensive tackles. We'll offer some of these guys some scholarships. Scout them. Peyton Tracy's a gem. Nice to see. Cam Vedvik is a bust. What about Ian Clem? Nothing. We got a couple of 4-star guards. There we go. That's a gem. And we'll offer a scholarship to you as well. Center Glenn Price. He's a gem. Okay, now we're picking up. Last year I struggled with finding gems on the offensive line, but now it looks like we're finding a few of them at least. Ooh, but Taj Lasco is a bust. All right, good to know. But these top 2 guys are gems. Defensive end Ari Wilds. He's a 5-star bust. Really? A 5-star bust? I feel like I'm finding so many busts. Maybe you guys have found a bunch of busts too? I don't know. I feel like I'm just finding a bunch of them. Outside linebackers, Marquez Shockey. He's a bust. Middle linebackers, corners. Dennis Buchanan is really fast. Okay, I like Dennis Buchanan a lot. What about James Floyd? He's a gem. He's got 89 speed, 94 change of direction too. Free safety, strong safeties, regular athletes. We got all those guys scouted. Okay. So we found a few different players. That is for sure. We found a few different players. I'm probably going to take a couple of guys off the board. But this is my initial... what am I saying? My initial board. You guys know what it is now. You know what we're rocking with. So now I'm going to go through the season. I'm going to continue doing my recruiting and doing all that kind of stuff. If I bring in any of these 5 stars early, if they verbally commit to us early, then I will show you guys that. But if not, then we will just keep riding it out. And if, like I said, if anything crazy happens other than the 5 stars were coming to the school, then I'll bring you guys in as well. And I may periodically show you, but I want to get a feel for how the rebuild's going to take, because it's already been like 2 hours of recording, and we're only in season 2, so I don't want these videos to just like trail on forever and ever. So we'll figure out a nice little balance of how to do these videos. We'll figure it out. We'll offer some scholarships to some of those busts. Why not? Why not? Okay, that's all 750 points. I'm not going to change my schedule at all either. We're just going to keep it riding with the same stuff. And hopefully this year, with Isaiah Marshall now as our starting quarterback and the new influx of players, maybe we can change some things. So I am going to simulate the season. I'll keep doing my recruiting. Like I said, if anything crazy happens with recruiting, I'll bring you guys back in. But if not, then we'll just kind of periodically go through it and see how it works. Okay, so we're not having that great of a year number 2. We are really bad actually right now, which is kind of scary, but we have recruited our first ever 5-star of the video. Richard Shaughnessy out of Manor, Texas, a 5-star wide receiver, has arrived, well, has committed verbally to Kansas. That is absolutely beautiful. I've been going after some extra 4 stars and guys like that, but a lot of them are already pretty close to who they're going to be. But as you can see, we are 2-6 in the league, right, or in the season so far. But I've been going after a couple of 4-star guys. They've all locked me out pretty much. They all pretty much know who they're going to go to. So I think we kind of have an idea of what our recruiting class is going to look like. But I'm still going to try to go heavy on some of the guys. We are getting some decent recruits, but that 5-star, getting him is very good. Getting him across the board is actually really, really good. So that's our first 5-star, man. That is our first 5-star of the video. And like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to take. I hope it doesn't take too long, because that's not really promising for future rebuilds and stuff. They might have to be very few and far between. But right now, I'm having a good time rebuilding the Kansas Jayhawks. I put some points in on those guys. We've got a lot of points in a lot of these guys. But getting a 5-star already makes you, I would assume, a pretty good class, because it's a 5-star. Where are we sitting right now? We are all the way... Oh my god, we were like 53rd, weren't we? We were like 53rd in last season's recruiting. We are 132nd because we only have 2 guys committed. That's why. But one of them's a 5-star, so I'll take that. A lot of those teams down on the bottom aren't going to be able to get 5 stars, so we're already ahead of them on that. And we are looking to be ahead of... We're going to get a couple other pretty decent names. Like, we're going to get a couple of 4 stars. So the class will come together. The class will come together, and hopefully they can produce better in Season 3 than what we've been doing in Season 2, because we are 0-5 in the conference and are getting smacked around. So I'm hoping that we can change this team. We have to wait and find out. Okay, so we wrapped up Season 2. We went 2-10, so very rough season in terms of how we played. We also didn't manage to get a bunch of like the big-time recruits. We missed out on Taj Lasco, which is a 4-star guy I was trying to get. We missed out on Emmanuel Hops, a 4-star guy I was trying to get. We missed out on a couple of guys, and that's probably because we were losing games. If we would have won more games, I feel like we probably are able to bring in those guys. But right now our recruiting class is just 1 5-star and then a bunch of 3-stars. So it's not the recruiting class I was hoping for. Maybe we can add in Kopp, who's a 4-star tight end, but that's really about it. I mean, we're not going to be getting a bunch of these guys that are 4-stars, so it's going to be a pretty rough class. We're going to have to hope that the transfer portal is kind to us this year. we're going to have to hope the transfer portal is kind to us because that was a rough season. That was a rough season, too. And it looks like it's going to be pretty difficult. I thought that rebuilding was going to be a little bit easier, but, I mean, especially with Kansas, we're not really playing very well, I don't think. So, I don't know what it is. Maybe we need to get a better offensive line. We've been working on that. I've been trying to. I think we need to. Let's just buy out fully quarterback, and then we'll buy out all of the offensive line as well. So we're getting very close to finishing that top section of recruiter, which is really good. That is good. We're staying at Kansas until they fire us. We either win a national championship or we get fired at Kansas. That's basically how it's going to go. We didn't win a single game in the conference this year. Not ideal. Breaking news. Not ideal. If you want to win games, you got to win conference games. And we did not do a single thing like that. But I think this is just a bump in the road. I think this is just a bump in the road because we are number 1 on Kop's board, which is nice. He would be another 4-star. And now we've got a lot of guys at risk of transferring because our coach prestige, is what I was trying to say, has gone down because we lost a bunch of games this past year. So that's going to be a negative thing in our... Oh, this is going to be brutal. Pendergrass is actually thinking about transferring. Oh, players leaving. All right, show me what we got here. So we got no persuasion chance on all of these guys. That's crazy. Dawson Pendergrass, who we just brought in recruiting last year, is leaving because of playing style, which I don't think you can change. And now so many guys... We're losing Isaiah Marshall for Coach Prestige. We lost so many games that we're losing these guys to Coach Prestige. That's crazy, and we can't persuade them because there's no chance. Yeah, it's failed. I mean, it was high precision chance, and we were still failing on them last year. We failed on that as well. Yeah, we have no chance of bringing those guys back. We are getting some guys drafted at least. But that is a rough time, man. That is a rough time. I wouldn't be surprised if we get fired. Coach Firing, I'm pretty sure, is on. We get Quincy, a wide receiver. I only scouted him because he was decently fast. So he comes in. But Coach Prestige going down to a D is not ideal at all. So what does the roster look like now? Who's our starting quarterback? One of those guys that we got committed last year? It looks like it could be Ben Easters, or it's going to have to be one of these two guys, Travaris Cleveland or Ben Cantrell. Okay, I guess that's what we're going to have to ride with. I mean, this team looks weird. I mean, they look good, but they look weird. We'll see what it looks like, though, with the training results and everything like that. So, we've got transfer portal. This is where we need to have some good stuff. The transfer portal needs to help us out big time. It has opened up. Who's interested in coming here? So a couple of guys are. We'll put those guys that are in the top. Ooh, a quarterback. Aiden Armenta. Because of playing time, obviously. He's interested. He's only a 3-star, though. Oops, I didn't mean to sort that. I meant to hit this button. How many 4-star guys are interested in coming here? Only one 4-star is interested? Well, everybody else has chosen other schools to go to, it looks like. Alright, but I'll add some guys to the portal, especially 3-star guys. We'll add to our board. And we'll see if we can make anything happen with those guys. Hopefully. I mean, I'm still trying to get some of these other guys. I think we will get Cop. But everybody else, I don't know about, man. This is pretty tough. This is pretty tough. And this is the reason why, I know he's only a 2-star guy, but he had 93 speed, 89 acceleration. So I thought, you know what, let's try to go get him. Maybe he can end up becoming something. You never know. All right, so Aiden Armenta is a quarterback. Let's see how good he is. He's not great, but he might be the best option we have at quarterback. So we're going to go all in on him. We are going to go all in on him. We're going to go all in on this 4-star player because he's a 4-star. That would help our class look a little bit better, at least. This is definitely tougher than I expected it to be, so it's good to know that it's going to be decently tough to, at least for me. Maybe I'm doing some things wrong. But, I mean, winning 2 games is not ideal. Winning 2 games is not ideal, but we're going to go in and scout a bunch of these guys. This guy doesn't look too great, but we'll maybe grab him in the portal. Help? I mean, like, really, we need all the help we can get, I think. I think we need all the help we can get. This guy doesn't look amazing, but he's probably one of the highest rated players we would have on the receiving corps, so might as well bring him in, or at least attempt to bring him in. Who else do we want to go after? Probably Roman Petrie. Scout him up and then go after him. I'm still not sure what the send the house thing does. It doesn't let me click on it ever. I don't know what it does. I've tried to do it a couple of times, but it never lets me do anything. And then I guess we'll go after some more 3-star guys. I mean, we brought in so many 3-stars last season, and they're not really that high of an overall. They're like low or high 60s. Jonathan Hall will add to the board, and we will scout him up. He's got 90 speed at strong safety. That's pretty interesting, but he's already a junior, so he's not going to have that much of an impact on the team for a long time at least. Darren Conley, he's a transfer sophomore, and he looks okay. He doesn't look great. He had I think he had 98 strength. Did that say 98 strength? I think it said that. We still got 315 points. I'm not finding any crazy good players. Nobody with 97, 98 speed or anything crazy. At least I haven't noticed that. Maybe I have seen it, I just didn't recognize it or didn't realize it. That's possible, I guess. Is there a way I can get Durante? I'll go in on him. We'll schedule a visit with him, I guess. He wants conference prestige, so we'll do that. I'll schedule a visit with Cop as well. Pro potential, he thinks he can get to the pros. Artie Kendricks. Pro potential for him. And we'll just keep spending the rest of these points on the other guys that we have around the team that I haven't put a lot of points into. Okay, so that's all 900 of my points put in there. We'll see what kind of class we come up with. I don't know how good it's going to be. We got the 5-star guy, which is cool. We get Artie Kendricks, 3-star center. That's it for those guys. But we are in first place for a lot of these guys, which is good. It's a good sign. We'll see what happens. We advance. And we don't get any commits. We got locked out of Graciel. Another 4-star guy locks us out. That's not good. Another 4-star guy locks us out. Transfer portal off-season recruiting. Come on, boys. Give me something. We're still waiting on Cop Valdez. We're in front of for a couple of these guys. This guy locked us out. We have 460 points. I don't know what that means. What can I do with it? I guess I can schedule a visit. We'll just do pro potential. I might as well just do pro potential on a bunch of these guys. Jonathan Hall. Can I send the house on him? What does that even do? What about soft selling him? See, why do I not have enough points? I have 380 hours. How does that work? I don't understand why that's not letting me do that. That's the one thing I'm kind of confused about. Still need to learn about that kind of stuff. We'll do a visit for him. Nigel Jackson. We'll give him pro potential. Caden Henley will offer a visit. And we'll give him playing time. Oh, that's pro potential. Oops, I meant playing time, but pro potential. The problem is these guys are all 3-stars. I mean, 3-stars end up they're cool, but I was looking for 4 and 5 stars. We got one of them. we got one 3-star or one 5-star. Can we get any other transfers? Alright, we'll simulate it again and see what will happen. How is this recruiting class going to shake up? We get the quarterback, the quarterback transfer, Aiden Armenta. We get Cameron Zedler, Nigel Jackson, wide receiver, Gabe Jones, defensive end. So that's a couple transfers that come in. A couple 3-star transfers that come in. Petrie locked us out, bumped us out. That's okay. We got one more chance, I think. One more chance to get the recruiting class figured out. It doesn't look like we're going to get Durante, unfortunately. But he's a bust anyway. So Petrie we didn't get. Quincy Howard we weren't really going for. Henley we couldn't get. Jonathan Hall we didn't get. And Sullivan we didn't get. We're still working on Conley. We are top on Conley. And Valdez, Luis Valdez we're top on. But we can't schedule a visit with him. I guess we see what happens. I guess we see what happens. All right, let's go to the final week and see what this class looks like. Hopefully year number 3 is a little bit better because that was a little rough with a 2-win season. We get Kopp, 4-star tight end. We get Luis Valdez, free safety, and that is it. Durante doesn't choose us, and Darian Conley chooses Iowa. Okay. I feel like we rounded out the class fairly well. We got a decent class. We got a 5-star, which is always good. We got a couple of transfers to come in. Top classes, where do we stand in nationally for top classes? We will have we're lower than we were last year. We come away with 1 5-star, 1 4-star, 11 3-stars, and 1 2-star. And we have the 65th class in the nation. Okay. Hopefully this class works out for us. Hopefully these prospects. We'll see how good Aiden Armenta is. I don't know how good he's actually going to be. So Richard Shaughnessy comes in as a true freshman and is the highest player on the team, highest rated player on the team. That's pretty funny. He's got 96 speed as well. He's going to be a stud. Armenta is a 72 as a senior redshirt. So he's got 1 year on the team. Cantrell and Cleveland. Running back. We need to recruit running backs next year. Wide receiver, we got Shaughnessy. We've got Kubeka, and we've got Nigel Jackson, who we just got in here. He's a senior redshirt. Everybody else is just kind of here. I don't know. I hope this team can develop. We might get fired before we turn out anything decent. Who knows what's going to happen. The offensive line is not great, but is okay. We're looking pretty interesting. We don't have any right outside linebackers. Our corners aren't bad. We've got some decently young corners. We probably need to keep working on corner, though. It's a weird team, for sure. Oh, I need to make sure. Did we sign any athletes? We did. We had 3 athletes. Okay, I need to make sure that we get them in the right spots. So he is highest rated as a speed rusher, 69, or a D tackle. We'll move him to right end, and he'll probably start right there. And then we've got Marco Mateo. He is a outside linebacker. I think we need right outside linebacker, so we'll make Marco Mateo right outside linebacker. And then the final guy is Javon Fogg. So Javon Fogg is best as a fullback, a tight end, a corner, a free safety. You know what? We're going to turn him into a right outside linebacker because we don't really have anybody at that position, I don't think. Or maybe we just added somebody there. I don't remember. He's not going to be a corner. He probably isn't going to be a free safety, or maybe he should be. Let's make him a free safety. Maybe he'd start at free safety. So I like getting I like getting Richard Shaughnessy because he's a 79 overall already. We'll see. I mean, the quarterback, I think, is the real problem. The quarterback is the reason why we aren't getting as many wins as we need to. So if we can just recruit a quarterback, that would be ideal. But we keep losing. Nobody wants to come here now because we had bad coach prestige and we had such a bad season. So who knows what's going to happen. We'll finish up the running back stuff, and we will we'll add another one to linebacker. So we're getting very close. It's not going to take too much longer to finish up the recruiter side of the top half of that thing. So, training results. How much did some of the guys go up? Did some of the quarterbacks get up? Okay, so Jalen Todd goes up to an 83. We get a couple of guys up into the 80s. That's nice to see. What about the quarterbacks? So Cantrell's actually a 75 now. Ben Cantrell is interesting. Ben Cantrell is interesting, to say the least. He's probably going to have to be the next guy up after this season when Armenta leaves after his senior season. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Luckily, we managed to stay as a 3-star prestige team. Encourage transfers. Do we have too many players now? We have really barely any players on the roster. We have 57 at 85 because that's how old of a team we were. That is how old of a team we were. We had so many seniors that we've gone from like 70 plus players to like 57. So we need to recruit players, not encourage people to transfer. All right, hopefully year 3 goes a little bit different. We're going to set up the recruiting board and hope that this goes a little bit better. So guys that have no one has first interest in us. That's not good. There is a 5-star down here though. Jamal Mouch. He's got interest in us, which is good. We'll put up all the 4-star guys will start. I'll put up the guys that are second too. We definitely need to make sure that we get some. We definitely need to make sure we get some big time names in here. Some 4 stars, some 5 stars, guys like that. Let's go straight to 5-star prospects and just go in on some of them. Because that's what I want. I want 5-star guys on my team. That's the only way we're going to get better, isn't it? That is the only way we're going to get better. We'll also add a few 4-star guys. Okay, board is filled up. We've got a ton of guys. Let's get moving here. You know what the board looks like. Finally, we get a guy that's actually not a bust, but that guy is Matt Vaughn. What about Tyrell Jones? He's got not a lot of speed at all. He can't move. He's a statue in the pocket. Ooh, but this guy, hello, Moses Mixon. You're gonna get a scholarship right off the bat. He could be a quarterback. We're also gonna offer a scholarship right away to Jamal Mouch. Andres Burr. Scout, Tyler Byler, or Tori. I thought it was Tyler Byler. That would have been hilarious. Tory Byler. Antoine Ashmore. Where's some of these 4-star guys? Here we go. Frank Matthews. Ooh, Frank Matthews is a gem at tight end. Now, obviously, we're not going to be able to get probably all of these guys we won't be able to get. We're going to try to, though. We are going to try to. If we can come away with a class as good as this, that would really change our perspective here on the season. Noah Bloom. Man, getting a 5-star corner would really help. Gotta go in on these 5 stars. If we give them scholarships right off the bat, then maybe they're more excited to come here. They want to come here right off the bat. I mean, that's what we did with the 5-star wide receiver, Shaughnessy. Joshua Boyce is a bust at wide receiver. Very interesting. Demetrius Babineau. They're just going through and offering scholarships to 5-star players. I mean, why not? It can't be worse than what we did the past 2 years with recruiting. I mean, we came away with some good prospects. The number 1 player in the country or the number 3 player in the nation is a bust. That's kind of weird. This guy's number 1 in everything. He's number 1 in the position. He's number 1 in the state. He's number 1 in the country. Everything. Ooh, he looks pretty good. This Antoine Lockett guy. We got 245 points left. Another bust. Brian Mingo. Looks pretty good. Cameron Daniel is a decent center. It's going to be tough to jump into these guys' top 8. I think we can do it. Ooh, there's a gem right guard. It's always nice to find gem offensive lineman, that's for sure. What about JT Mama? Oh, he's a bust. Really, with that name, you're a bust? Come on, you got to be better than that. Alright, I think we can pretty much scout everybody here that we have on our board and then decide if we want to put any scholarships on people. What about Ronnie McNabb? Not amazing. Cesar Costa. Mateo Lorenzo. Colby Lasco. Oh, we don't have anything on him. Okay, let's put a scholarship on who looked pretty good. Let's do Matt Bertolette. Okay, that's all 750 points that we had, or hours that we had in the preseason. So we go into this this third season hoping that we have a better season than we did last year in year number 1. And we've jumped up significantly on a couple of these guys, which is always nice. But we have a D+ championship contender now that we've dropped out, and we had such a bad year last year. But I'm gonna go through the season just like I did last year. If anything crazy happens, like we add in any top 5 or 5-star prospects, I'll bring you guys in. But if not, then we might be having another rough season. Hopefully, don't get fired though. That'd be pretty embarrassing. We were able to grab ourselves another 5-star prospect, Jamal Mauch, however you want to say his name. He comes and is committed to the school now. We still got a couple of options out there, but we have not had the greatest season. We are winless on the year. I'm not sure why we're playing so bad. Like, I know the team isn't great. The team is not like the best team in the world, but we're not a bad football team by any means. We should have at least a couple wins. It looks like Cantrell's actually starting over the senior Armenta. Is he starting? Has he been starting over him? The freshman? I mean, he's not a bad player either. What's his stats look like? 18 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. I mean, I don't know why we're losing games. I'm not really sure how this works. I'm trying my best. I'm doing my recruiting and stuff. We're recruiting some big-time guys. We've got a 5-star. We've got a 4-star. We've got a 3-star. Like, we're getting another 4-star guy. We're getting players. It's just the season on the field is not going very well. But maybe next year, year 4, will change things when we get these guys in. I don't know. We're playing really, really bad for some reason, and I don't know what to do differently. And it looks like I have failed my first ever rebuild. I got fired after an 0-12 season, which makes sense. Contract ending in 5 weeks. I got fired from Kansas. I think I can still do some recruiting. We were gonna come away with a pretty decent class. Like I was hoping that we could get some of these guys committed here, but I'm not gonna have the chance to find out. Our class as of right now sits where do we sit in the nation? We sit pretty far down, as you would expect, apparently. We sit at number 96 in the nation with 5 total recruits. We got a 5-star, 3 4-stars, and a 3-star. But that's not going to matter because we are fired from Kansas. But this is a good learning experience. It's good to know how difficult it is to rebuild a team. I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't have been fired. I mean, we get a 3-star commit in Dennis Wimbush, but we're not going to play with them, obviously. I don't know. I guess we'll continue to go to when we actually do get fired and see if we can see the recruits actually come in. We get Tremaine Wing, which is a 4-star D tackle. We get a running back that's a 3-star. We get a 3-star, another running back that's a 3-star. So we're getting a lot of those guys to commit, which is what we needed to do. And that should bump us up out of the 90s in terms of our rating. Dante Moore, quarterback for Oregon, wins the Heisman. Good for him. It's been 3 straight quarterbacks, if you're wondering. Okay, so we got fired. We got fired from Kansas. We signed a 5-star guy, a couple 4-star guys. Like, I feel like the team is going to turn around pretty quickly, even though we got fired. Maybe they should have gave us one more season to see this class through. So we jump from the 90s? Yeah, we jump up from the 90s to the 60s, 64th ranked class in the country. We got a 5-star, 4 4-stars, 4 3-stars. So I mean, we're bringing in actual like talent, and we still got options out on some of these guys. Like we could bring in a couple more 3-stars right here. So I feel like this class is gonna be pretty good. It could change. It could change Kansas. We could turn it around, but we're not gonna get the chance to because we're getting fired. So it's understandable. After you can't really go 0-12 and expect to not get fired, really. It's understandable, but I was just hoping they'd give me a little bit more opportunity, a little bit more leniency, but that is not the case. That is not the case. I don't even know why I'm really upgrading, but it's good to know how this is gonna go. I gotta change my strategies. I feel like I gotta change my strategies. So I'm not gonna sign another contract because this is gonna be the end of the video. But I'm still gonna upload this because, well, it's my first rebuild on the new game. So it's good to know what's going on here. It's a good learning experience. Figuring out, we actually got signed by the Golden Eagle, or the Georgia Southern Eagles. Apparently, we're now their head coach. I didn't even like. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Let's go to league settings real quick. I've got coach firing on, obviously. I have auto recruiting off and auto progression off. Everything seems to be the same. I wonder why. Is there any settings maybe I should have changed? User settings? What are user settings? Oh, this is all the stuff in the game. I don't know why I would have taken a job again with the Georgia Southern Eagles. Like I didn't go to the coaching carousel. Like maybe it automatically did that for me. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but we signed with the Georgia Southern Eagles apparently. I don't know why we signed with them. It's not like we have anything like that. Like we don't have anything on automated. I don't know. It's a good experience. It's a good experience. My first rebuild. We got fired. Good to know. Let's get back up to Kansas and find out what's going on here. So Kansas, I mean, they could be a good team. I don't know why they were so bad. Why did we go winless? I mean, we have talent on the roster. I'm not sure. Maybe you guys in the comment section can fill me in on what I did wrong. I'd love to know. I'd love to know what I did wrong. I do want to go. I want to go all the way to the new season because I want to see how some of those recruits turn out. Like I want to see how some of those players look. So I want to go sim to next season. Let's just get right to it. We don't care about Georgia Southern. We're not trying to rebuild them too. So let's just sim right to the next season. I want to see the Kansas roster and see what those positions or what those players are looking like because I was kind of excited to have that 5-star guy there, and that was our second 5-star guy of the video. Like we were starting to get some people, but maybe I should turn coach firing off. That's probably a smart thing to do, shouldn't I? I should probably turn coach firing off for rebuilds like this, where it's just we're staying on one team. That's the whole point. So that's probably my mistake. I probably should have turned coach firing off. But let's go look at Kansas's roster. So they added Shaughnessy's there a freaking 90 overall now. And Pemba is an 88. Like Estes, look how good Estes jumped up to. He's an 87 now. This team is good, and Mouch is up to an 83. Played up to an 83, but he's got 78. I mean, I feel like this team is good, but they just didn't give me the chance. How good were some of those quarterbacks that I scouted? Moses Mixon ends up being a 77. Like I brought in some talent for this Kansas roster, but they fired me. We also moved down to a 2-star program, so I kind of ruined this team, didn't I? I kind of ruined this team. But if you guys have any advice on how to play this a little bit better, how to change this and do a little bit of a better job, because I obviously failed. I failed as a rebuilder of the Kansas Jayhawks. But like I said, it was my tester. It was my tester rebuild. I wanted to kind of get a feel for the mode, and now I kind of do know a little bit more about the mode. I kind of feel a little bit more comfortable with the mode. But hopefully in the next rebuild, we don't go winless, because that was kind of embarrassing. But that is going to do it for the episode, or for the video. Like I said, if you guys have any suggestions of things I can improve, or things that maybe I did wrong, let me know. I'd be very interested to hear that. But anyway, that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.